Howdy partner, how you doing? If it wasn't for this hat, I would not be able to record this video with my eyes open. We've got a little bit of a sun trap here at the top of our garden, and this time of year is absolutely glorious. I guess I could if I had sunglasses, but it kind of puts a bit of a barrier between me and thee, I think. It's Tuesday again, second video in the new weekly series. I think the content, purpose, whatever, will evolve and mature in the same way that the audio daily podcasts have. 31st of March, so just over a month since I started those, and that regular practice of engaging with my thoughts and kind of just putting stuff out there has really helped me enormously. And I think the same will be true of this weekly video, that the purpose of it, the intent of it, the content of it will figure itself out as we go. And what I've been thinking about today, as I've thought about and looking forward to sitting at the top of the garden in the sun, chatting to you, is just how important it is to look back regularly at where you've come from, to measure your success, really, more than anything. I mentioned around about this time last year, I uploaded a video and talked about Dan Sullivan's 25-year framework. I don't know if I've talked elsewhere about his book, Who Not How, which has been really influential for me. Yeah, that was his first one, but the one I want to reference today is the gap and the gain, and how Dan Sullivan found time and time again, as he was working with new clients, on the face of it, phenomenally successful, ambitious entrepreneurs, yet not happy, always looking ahead at their ideal, their goals, moving forward. And when they get them, well, the ideal, the goals have moved. And Dan Sullivan talks about your ideal as being like the horizon. And the horizon is always, at sea level, is always going to be about 25 miles away from you. It doesn't matter how close you get to it. So he said if you're constantly measuring yourself against the ideal, against your goals in the future, you'll always be disappointed, because there's always going to be a gap between where you are and where you see yourself in the future. But he said, if you just turn 180 degrees and look back and see where you've come from, well, that's where magic happens. And I like the idea of these weekly episodes just being like a metronome, just forcing me, in inverted commas, I don't like that word, it's got too much aggression in it, but providing the space for me to reflect back on days and weeks. And today I want to reflect back on the last year. So this time last year, I was driving for my full-time income. I was moving luxury vehicles around the UK, moving them from seller to buyer, and from dealer to new customer and the like. And here we are a year later, and I'm sitting in the sun, and I'm getting audition requests from my agent, and in-person recalls for commercials and feature films. And I've got a podcast production company with two amazing collaborators, Rob and Matt. I've talked about them many times. I've got a 5-star rated podcast with closing on 1,000 downloads a month. Not that figure really interests me at all, but it's a measure, I suppose. And that is now a daily podcast. And I have a YouTube channel where every day I'm posting a self-tape as my creative practice as an actor. And I'm also producing and directing and acting in a short film in a year. Wow. Sounds like a lot. And I think if you had said to me this time last year that in May 2025, this is what your life will be like, a part of me would have gone like, yeah, that sounds ideal. It sounds like that's what the kind of life I would like, but I can't see it really as being realistic, because look, I'm out on the road 12, 14 hours a day, moving cars around, moving vehicles around. But in April last year, April 24, I decided to take one day off a week driving to create space. I've talked about that many times on my podcast. And from that, I started the collaboration with Matt and Rob, and then I started my podcast, started talking to people for my podcast, and then launched my podcast. And then I got an agent, and then it just like it compounds. You create that space, so something different is happening, so you can expect different results, and you just keep moving forward, keep being drawn towards your ideal, but not letting your progress towards your ideal, not allowing that to dictate any sense of success or failure. Just every now and then turn 180 degrees and look back at where you were yesterday, last week, last month, last year, and provided you're doing all of the things that I talk about and many other people talk about around creating space for yourself to reflect, to engage with your thoughts, to exercise your creativity and your art. Just keep doing that on a regular, ideally daily basis. Just keep moving one step at a time, one step in front of the other. And this time next year, you'll be sitting at the top of your garden, hopefully with the sun on your face, or maybe you've got the sun in your the sun in your garden in the morning, whatever, that you are where you want to be, where you see yourself wanting to be in a year's time, and not really thinking that you could make it. You can, because if I can, you can. Trust me. I'm neurodivergent, ADHD off the charts, but I made sure that I had a support network around me of people and systems, and if I can be part of the support system for you to help you get where you see you want to be in a year's time, then hit me up somehow. I don't know, haven't figured it all out yet. Comment on this video and I'm bound to see it. And yeah, just keep moving forward. Love and be loved.